Hello, everyone, and hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's Veeam 100 show. My name is Sophia Mohammed, and I'm a community analyst here at Veeam Software. I'm joined today by my co-host, Veeam Global Technologist, Julia First Morgado, and our guest today, Luciano Petrao, Veeam Vanguard and Senior Solutions Architect. How are you both doing today?
Hello, everyone.
Good.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I love this show, Vim 100. And we're here to hear from Luciano a great topic. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Before we
Yeah.
get into it
Thank you.
today,
Bye. Okay.
yeah, let's give some introductions. I'm joining, by the way, from Columbus, Ohio today. Julia is not joining from her home base in New York City. She's
Yeah,
always on the road somewhere. You're in Miami, Florida today, I
yes,
believe,
for
and
an event.
Luciano is in Germany. So would
Yes,
you both
correct.
like to give introduction of your role and what you do? Julia, would you like to go first?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a global technologist at Veeam in the product strategy team, and I help out mostly with our cloud products. So Veeam Backup for AWS, Veeam Backup for Azure, Kasten, so Veeam Backup for Kubernetes, a little bit of Veeam Backup for Entra ID as well now, because we keep adding, new products. And I'm very involved in the cloud communities as well. So I love talking and getting feedback from new functionalities that we should get and what's coming up on the roadmap, and that's what I do and what we do in our team as well.
Awesome. Luciano?
Right. First, thank you for having me on the show.
Of course.
My name is Lucien Patrão, as everyone knows. I'm a V Vanguard for 7 years, I think. So what I do is mostly is VMware, and now more VMware and other stuff because VMware is VMware. Um, and I also do some solution architect for designing infrastructure, backup recovery, and then some disaster recovery plans, etc. So, and lately I'm on some projects, at least two, of migration from VMware to Hyper-V. So that's something that we will discuss here today.
Yes, we
Mhm.
will. Thank you for
Which is
joining us, Luciano.
a very popular use case that we've been seeing, right? I
Yeah.
think the next slide we're gonna talk about that,
Yep.
why it's becoming so popular.
Yeah, but before we dive into the slides, let's talk about the Veeam 100 show just for a minute.
Okay.
This is our 14th Veeam 100 show. We started this in 2023. If you're unfamiliar, maybe this is your first show tuning in. This is a monthly show. It happens on the first Thursday of every month, replacing the Thursday Tech Bites. And we invite our Veeam 100. These are our top technical evangelists, our legends, our vanguards, our Veeam MVPs to showcase a project that they're working on with Veeam's wider community. So we have Luciano today to talk about how to migrate your VMs from VMware to Hyper-V using Veeam. Luciano, before we dive into the presentation, I know you mentioned you've been a Veeam Vanguard since 2018, so almost a
Hmm.
decade now. Can
Yeah.
you discuss how you got into technical communities? I know it's also a passion of Julia's, but mention the importance of it to you.
Well, all- uh, in Veeam community, also VMware community, I arrived very late because I'd never been involved that. So I arrived around 2017, 18. So that's why when I joined also Veeam community. And honestly, it was one of the, even I didn't want to do it before, and then I decided to do it. And it was one of the best decisions I had in my career because my career was given not one, just like 10 steps forward. I meet a lot of people, learn a lot, meet good friends, and always every year we have some couple of events that we go, and then also some live shows. Also, so this was an awesome decision from my side, and Veeam community in this case is awesome. Is I already told this many times. If it's not the best, it's the one of the best communities out there in the industry. So that's my opinion, of course. So that's that.
Great. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it shows today. Apparently, Felicia, our social media manager, she's telling that there's a lot of people from all across the globe. So that's great.
Of
Keep
course,
shouting out.
I'm on it. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. It's because of Luciano. Only
Yes.
because of him. But great viewership from all across the globe. So make sure if you have questions, because Luciano's here, this is a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Ask
He'll
your
answer all
questions
the
to him today.
questions.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's dive in then. We're showing some screens, so let me know.
We can
Yeah, I
just
think,
Diving
yeah.
in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. So, well, I can start it. Well, we will in this presentation we will talk about why we should migrate and why we should use Veeam for the migrations. So this is something that we will discuss. We will also discuss migrations, pre-migration tests, because we need to do some stuff before we migrate to VMs. Also, we will discuss a migration process overview, how it works, how is done by the Veeam, and how the process is inside of Veeam. We will do, or at least we will try to do a live demo because there's some issues with the lab. I think it's working, but let's see. And also, we will discuss some migrations, post-migration tests, because we are talking about VMs that are working on VMware, and then we are migrating to Hyper-V, and is not the same technology. They are not the same stuff, so we need to do some post-migration tasks. So in this case, are VMs, Windows VMs. So we need to do some stuff for afterwards. Also, we will finish with some best practices for migrations. We can, I can start this on migrations. Why and Veeam and for Veeam's migration? Why? Well, my experience is that I've done without. So I've done migrations using SCCM from from Microsoft. You can do this using that. There is on the virtual manager, there is a option to do this, and also we can do this by script. That's what I'm doing by script. I create a huge script to do this, and then there is no interaction. Just run the script, and everything will migrate. But this has some step backs because there's some problems. We need to do something different, and if the VM has, like, for example, if BIOS or if a boot, we need to change the boot afterwards. And the network also, we need to do a lot of changes, and Veeam does this automatically. We don't need to do this. We just use the restore, and then that's it. So we can go to the next slide and then see that how this, we can discuss why we
Yeah.
need to do this by Veeam, and why we should,
And
or
yeah, Luciano,
how
I was gonna
companies
ask you.
are changing the environment. That's one of the questions today. Yeah.
Exactly. You said you have two cases that you're working on about this migration, but why would you say people are migrating? We saw the acquisition from Broadcom, but what are the benefits of migrating? Why are they deciding to move away from Broadcom?
Well, any company has different reasons, but one of the top, of course, is costs. That's for sure. I'm a VMware guy. I love VMware. Well, I would like to continue to work with VMware, but we need to know, we need to understand the reality today. And the reality today is that some companies don't want to spend all that money on VMware and the licenses, on all those VCF packages that is huge and has a lot of costs for companies that don't use that much. So companies are looking for alternatives. As I wrote here, there is 25% of the customer that this is a survey that was done, and then 25% of the customers are planning to migrate their workloads from VMware. That is huge.
Yeah, it
Maybe for
is.
VMware is not huge, but for my opinion, is huge.
Yeah.
And they are trying to find alternatives. Hyper-V is an alternative. Let's talk this. Today we are talking. We have a session for Hyper-V, but we can do this the same for any Hyper-V. So the
Exactly.
team can do for Promox, can go to Nutanix, can go to different KPVM. Also, we can go to different Hyper-V. To different hypervisors. Just not Hyper-V. We're talking about Hyper-V today, but
Yeah.
this is the same process Of course, it's different because any hypervisor is different, but it's always the same.
Yeah, I would
And again,
say
why
this is the
Veeam?
beauty.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
beauty of Veeam is that you're not locked in with one vendor. So
Mhm,
if anything happens, you can easily migrate from one
mhm.
to the other. And that's what you're gonna show today. But companies, they don't need to, if they decide to be with one, they can have that peace of mind that if in
Yeah,
six
yeah, yeah.
months they want to change or migrate, they can do so with Veeam.
Yeah, and we
Oh,
had a
well,
comment.
just can I
Sorry,
just
Luciana. Yeah.
one quick uh, as an example, we can go and migrate. Let's say a company has 100% of their workloads in VMware, but they want to migrate only the non-critical
Hmm.
stuff because
Yeah.
honestly, VMware continues to be the best, and for high availability and very high demanding, VMware continues to be the best. So let's say a company wants to migrate 20, 30, 40% of their workload that is not so critical. So this is why they can just use Veeam, do the backup, do the restore, and just power down the VMs before the last backup is could be quick. You can do like by groups, 20 VMs, 30 VMs, 50 VMs, 100 VMs, depends on the infrastructure, of
Hmm.
course, and then just send it and then do an instant recovery, and in minutes everything is up again. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of this. And
Hmm.
while we are doing the migration by script, by VMware, whatever other options we use, 6 hours. And then it takes hours. You can be, we can talk about like 2 hours. It can be like 10 hours. It depends on the size, or it depends on how many VMs are we moving, and if the infrastructures can handle all those migrations. And with this is completely different because is like we said here is easy to use, is speed up, flexibility,
Hmm.
reliability, and cost efficiency. That's why it's it is very, very, very
Yeah.
good option to migrate all VMs. Sophia,
Hmm.
you said there was a question, so
Yeah,
that
I
you
was kind of
can.
following up on Julia's
Okay.
comment about the options. Somebody, Oleg
Hmm.
on YouTube, commented, I've used the VMware to Hyper-V migration with Veeam a few times, and it's worked perfectly.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
just
Yeah.
showing highlight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And by the
Yeah.
way, since we do have a global wide audience today, a lot of people watching live, it is good to call out the fact that this will be available to watch after
Yeah.
on YouTube with the
Hmm.
replays if you need to step out at any time.
And also these slides have a great information. So yeah, you can check them out later.
Yep.
Yep. So we can see again. I think we show here the Veeam simplicity so to do this migration. So in the next slide, we can discuss a little bit more about
The
the pre-migration
pre-migration.
tests.
Hmm.
So again, to prepare your backups and your environment to do this migration, you need to do some stuff beforehand. So
Hmm.
in this example, I've shown here two things. First is a retention policy. It should be on restore points. So you will have one full backup. You have a group of, again, 10, 20, 100. That's up to you. It's up to your environment infrastructure that handles all this on this workload. So you need to have one full backup. The VMs are still running on VM and VMware, so don't worry about that. You are just doing a normal backup. Do a full backup, and then the you need to remove the full backups active because this will always create a full backup. So you just need to do one full
Hmm.
backup and then one incremental backup. That's two. It's more than enough for your environment. If you need to create more backups incrementally, in this case for let's say 12 hours, 8 hours, it depends, or for 2 days, 3 days, that's up to you. That's up to your plan. But you should put your backups. I can explain. We will explain this on the next
Oh.
slide, but now just fix on this one. We should not do more than two. That's
Hmm.
should be you can do it, but normally best practice should do only two, one backup, one full backup, and then one incremental. The incremental can be more than one, but they will always save on top of the last one. Of course, that's because that's only two. Or if you are backup to disks or whatever storage, whatever you can use this. But if you are backup to object storage, that for an incrementer is not available, because that's how S3 bucket storage is working, but they will do on the back end. So this is done on the back end, but the same process is the same. So use this two options, then you can start. For the next slide, you can see the how many many hours. In this case, I put 12 hours, but it's up to you. If you have a lot of changes, if your environment can handle, you can put dual 12, 8, 4 hours, depending on the volume of your environment, because there are a lot of changes on the VMs. But the last one, so let's say we are planning the migration for tomorrow morning. So today we have 8 hours. We have 2 more backups, just grabbing all the changes that we need from the VMware, the change on the VMs, and then tomorrow we will do the migration. And when we do the migration, we need to power down, of course, the VMs, because we cannot do this online with the VMs power up, because again, it's from VMware to Hyper-V. It's a different hypervisor. You need to shut down the VMs, and you have 2 options. You can do the last backup, last incremental when they are live, or you can do when they are power off. My preference is when they are powered on, but depends. If there is like 3 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours to back up, then you have 10 hours of power down. So you can do this online. After the backup, just power down the VMs and then start the migration. So that's we start the process. In the next slide, we can also check more of this process, how this works. So when you need to do the restore, because this is a restore, we are talking about migration, but this is the restore itself, because this is backup and replication. The Veeam is a backup tool, so we are backup from VMware, restoring on Hyper-V. So you select here. I put in orange so that you understand. So you see you select the VM. You need to the VM group VMs, whatever that you need to restore it. You select the option that is instant Veeam recovery. Why this? Because to Hyper-V, that's the only option you have. If it's a different hypervisor, you can choose just a restore. But for the Hyper-V, that's the only option that is available to do the migration, because Hyper-V is a little bit different. So when you do this instant recovery, what it means is just power up. If anyone knows Veeam, you know that instant recovery is that the VM is right away power up on the backup infrastructure. So you have 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depends on the VMs and the infrastructure, of course. To everything is a power up. So everything will be ready to use. But this is temporary, because they will create a temporary VM. We will mount the disks, and they are set to work. So now what we need to do is, of course, you need to put the VMs, but then you have the option, you need to do it, to migrate to production. Then first we check if everything is working. You need to check what's around, if your VMs are okay, etc. If you see that everything is working, because the VMs already is already power on, and then you can see the environment, etc. If you see that everything is okay, then you can right click, and then just say, okay, everything is good. Just migrate to production. So everything from the VMs that we had in VMware will automatically start migrating. This is live, so no power down, no downtimes. Just to let you know, this will take some hours, many hours. Depends on the system, but will take many hours. This will start migrating everything that we have power on right now in the it calls IVMR, because that's instant VM recovery. Everything that we have in instant recovery will start migrating to your hypervisor, Hyper-V, and also to your storage that you have on because now after they finish, that's it. Everything is migrated. Everything is on the other side. Again, without any downtime, because this is done live. Yeah. So we can see.
Are you gonna show us live how it works?
We'll try.
Let's try.
Let's see. So let's see. How can I go to my? So I think I need to share, right?
Yeah,
So let's see if I
your
can.
lab.
So
Yeah, Luciano, while you're pulling this up, we did get a few questions in the chat if you'd like to answer them.
yeah.
So Ragvinder said, what level of support does Veeam provide for migration projects on VMware for VMs?
Well, that is a question I cannot answer because I'm not a Veeam.
Yeah, I think Rick was answering on the chat as well. Rick is helping us on the chat. So
Gotcha. Stay tuned in chat then.
yes.
Okay, can you see my lab?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So just before I start migration, I will show you. This is the backup job that I create for this. I will show you. So just to give you a quick show here. Okay, let's do here. So you can. This is high priority that you can give to this job. If you want, you can give it so that your backup infrastructure will priority this job. It's not mandatory, but you can do it if you want, just to let you know. So in this case, I have only 2 VMs. So this is 2 Windows. I think one is Windows 11, and obviously Windows 10. So I just choose the VMs. Again, I choose only restore points. No days restore points. That's what I mean. Here is cloud. This is on my storage, but I can go to objects storage. Like in this case is Wasabi. We can go to a different whatever you want.
There are so many, options.
Yeah, today, and Veeam can work with so many at the moment. And again, we will choose incremental, remove the full backups because you only do one initial full backup, and then that's it. Again, this is here we can do some, but this is normal. This is for just a backup. Here again, what I told you. So priority, how should this job
Run.
start? 12, 8, 4 hours. In this case, I have 12, but okay, this is just for testing, so I can just go here. So I have already here the backups, and I hope this works. So this is the VMs. As you see, I have 2 restore points, so I will go to this clone. You see, just to show up,
On
you
the
see
top,
how many, where we can migrate these VMs. So
the
this is all the stuff.
Yeah.
You see Nutanix, etc. So we can migrate to many. So, but again, for Hyper-V, that's the only option is instant recovery. So we will migrate this VM to the Hyper-V.
Yeah, I see
So
people. Someone asked on the chat about the possibility to restore to Proxmox or KVM, and you can see on the screen that you have the option. Proxmox is not showing, but you can also restore it there.
I think we can
yeah.
have because let me quick here. I think you have.
Yeah, usually you do have the option, but I think you need to. You probably don't have the Proxmox add-on.
No.
Yeah,
I
but
don't have.
it's you have the ability as well.
Yeah. So here is the normal storage of restore. You just choose your restore point. In this case, we don't do anything because you will always choose the last one. Just click. Here is where you will ask where you want to migrate. I will send to this standalone Hyper-V. Oh, by the way, this is a cluster. Unfortunately, it's not working. That's why I need to create a standalone Hyper-V. This is a cluster. Both are already Windows 2020-25. So this is the latest update, was already supported to 2025. This is a failed cluster for Hyper-V for 2025. Also, I have another one that is on Virtual Manager from Windows. So also the 2025 already also is also supported. So we just choose did I choose? I think so. Oh, here.
Yeah, just follow the wizard. It's very explanatory.
Yeah. So
So
here,
Veeam makes it very simple. Yeah.
so this will, I think this is, since this is a nested lab, will take some maybe 1 or 2 minutes to, okay, this is done. So that's good. So again, I have already here on the path, so I don't need to change. But as I've shown you before, I have a cluster. So it's also possible to just send to a cluster, because in the next, sorry, here you can see here this option is not available because this is not the cluster. But if this was Hyper-V fail cluster, you can say, yes, I want to do this VM as a fail cluster. So this will be a role on the failover cluster also on VM. So just to know. So this is just where it goes. Here, I will choose the network. This is the network I will use. This is just test.
Next.
Okay, preserve system UID. This is up to you. You can say yes or can say no, but you can recreate a new one if you want. But only this is needed if you have still the VMs working on VMware, because they cannot be true UID. So then that's why you need to recreate a new one. But since this is a new VM and we are powered on the other one, this is no need to do this. So we just go here. Just let me go quick here. Yara is something that is from VMware that is real search. This is a antivirus, ransomware, everything you need to check your antivirus software for any VM that you have. If you want to check beforehand, you can do this using Yara. We are not talking about Yara here, but just to explain what Yara is, because you can just take it and see if everything is okay, and then you can restore it. If not, you can restore without the network adapters, and then you can fix it. And then, but this is a different subject. But just to show here also,
Yeah,
we
this
can do
gives
this.
you a lot of security. Yeah,
Yeah,
security
before the
capabilities.
migration. So so now, sorry. So now you start the migration. I hope this is quick, but honestly, this is the next step, so I don't know how long this will take.
Maybe meanwhile
think,
we can move to the slides again.
Yeah, go back to the post-migration task.
Yep.
And then we'll come back to the demo just to show the result.
So again, this is a VMware VMs. So while this is a VMware VMs, there is a lot of stuff from VMware. So there's VMware tools if you install it, but you should now, of course. But when you migrate all this, you can remove the VMware tools before or afterwards. So why before? I can give you an example of a customer I have. We are working on it. It's not possible to remove the VMware tools afterwards, because it's bound to some security that they have on their VMs. And then when they try to remove the VMs, the VMware tools afterwards, it doesn't allow it, because there's some DLLs that is connected, is linked to the VMware tools and etc. to the software they have, and then they don't allow to remove it. And we can, but it's so troubleshooting that we need to do. And if you are migrating 100 VMs, you need to do this one by one. Then this is the time that you spend a lot doing this. That's why always test your environment, check what you need to do before, because do a lot of tests. Don't do this just, okay, I do one VM and is working and then I will do it now. No, just do a lot of tests, because you need to check your software, you need to check your everything, your tool, your application, everything that you are working, you need to test this properly. This is
you need to validate it.
This is this is just migrating. Everything is okay. No, it's not, like, because the migration like this leads a lot of planning, a lot of testing, and you need to check what it works, what doesn't work. This is just the process of migration. The rest is up to your environment, and your teams need to check. Application teams, database teams, Windows teams, network teams. A lot of people need to be involved in this migration, because this is a full migration plan. So this, again, we are just showing the process of migration, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done before and afterwards. Yeah. So this is some of the stuff that we here, post-migration text that we see here, that you need to check. everything that you have on your VM, and afterwards you will have on your device manager, you have the storage from VMware, from the drivers. You will have the network also. You will have the VCD, the DVD, the virtual DVD, the display. You will have also the drivers, the disks, virtual disks in device manager also. This is something, all this will be hidden because you need to go to device manager and then I show it. And if the lab works, I hope so. If you have time, I can show this, because all this needs to be removed. So you need to go one by one and remove it. I created a script that is doing this, but I'm doing this automatically. After migration, you run the script and everything will clean up. I will try to share this and then put on some Veeam GitHub or something that you guys can use. But I'm still improving that because my last one, it was removing stuff that was not allowed to remove. So I'm still trying to put the proper script that does this automatically, and you can run for all the VMs that you are doing. I promise I will share this. I will send it.
You can share it on the community hub. So for those that don't know, there are a lot of things there. Yeah.
I can create. I think I will create then a post or something, and then I will put there, and then everyone can use it. So that people can check this. So okay, I think he says yes, it's working. So
great.
Let's go back.
Yes, let me see if I can share my screen again and share here, and we go full display. Okay. You see, it's already migrated. This is something that sometimes takes a long time. I have VMs that sometimes take like 20 minutes just to do this, because Veeam will change the guest OS settings to have proper VM working on Hyper-V. Like I said, if I was using the scripts I'm using without Veeam, I need to do everything manually. But Veeam does this automatically. So that sometimes this part can take, I don't know, here 44 seconds. That's good. Oh, yeah, but that's good. And now if you see here, is already to migrate to production. It means that the VM is already running on Hyper-V. I will show, and then it's already is ready to go to production if you want. So let's try to go to the Hyper-V I have here. Full screen. Okay, so here's the VM. I will connect. And I hope it will show here. So here's the VM already. So if you see here, let's see. I hope this works. Everything is working until now. So as I said, this is already on Hyper-V. So we did the migration. Everything is here. So if you had 10 VMs, right now you will have 10 VMs already running and full available to work on Hyper-V. Again, it's still not on your environment. This is working between your Hyper-V and your Veeam infrastructure, backup infrastructure. So this is still on the bridge, but it's already available. Just to show you what I was talking about here, just a quick.
Yeah, Luciano, while you're getting that up, we had a question from Jeremy in the chat saying, where could we find the post-migration script? You'll share that on the community GitHub as well as the community resource hub, correct? And then next week or so?
After is finished, I will share. Yes. I will create a post over there so everyone can see it.
So sign up if you haven't already, community.veeam.com.
Yeah.
So here, as you can see, this is the devices, and you see here the VM disk. Here is the for the virtual DVD, and also network. You see here, this is from VMware also. And if you go down here to the storage, sorry, not this one, this one. This is also from VMware. So this is all, again, one of the customers has, if this is running, if we don't delete this, there is some software from the customer that doesn't work. So we need to remove all this, because when you remove, if you click here to remove, you need to deinstall it. So you need to remove this. I think the monitor, no, is the display. Where is the display? Looking at it. Display, yeah. Here is also, you see? So, but we need to remove, but also remove the driver. And what I'm trying to do is when you remove the device, you also remove the driver. That's what I'm trying to do by script. So this, I'm trying to go all of these devices and remove everything. So again, this is already running. In this case, you see there was a, let me just go here very quick. How are we going on time? So just to make me, so I know what I'm.
We are 5 minutes over time, Luciano.
Yeah.
So
Really?
yeah.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
we are.
We can
Okay.
jump back on the
Still a very active
finish.
chat, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll try to close in the next.
So I'm
few
just
minutes or
trying
so.
to show this. Okay, this example, it still has the VMware tools. I'm just going to show here very quick. So here, you still have the VMware tools because this was just an example, and then we need to remove from here, and etc. etc. So I will go back just to finish this part.
To the slides, yeah.
Yep. Just go back here to the. Just let me just full screen. Okay. See, this is running, and then we need to go here and do this, migrate to production. When we do this, this of course will take a bit of time, and then like I said, it depends on your environment. This can take hours to do that. So it's already restoring everything on your site. So already in 2%. So if you have like 20 VMs, just select 20 VMs and move to your production. After this, everything is working again on your site. So I can stop this. I can stop sharing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
And
think
then you can
we
go
have
to
the
this.
best practices.
Yeah. So Luciano, do you want to briefly go over the best practices?
So yes, again, I already talked about this. Is migrate the workloads you manage. You need to do the proper migration plan. You need to check whatever you need to do. You need to check your network because we know in the big environments as there is a lot of VLANs. Network is one of the most problems that we have when migrating this stuff, because we are migrating from one infrastructure that is VMware to another infrastructure that is Hyper-V. Even we can set the same VLANs, etc., but physically everything is different. So we need to double check that. So always check that and see if everything is working. If not, when you migrate, there is no connection on the other side. So that's something that's why testing is very important. Test your network, test your storage, test your applications, test your database, etc.
And communicate with the other teams. Yeah.
Yes, correct. That's why this is a multitask team. When you're migrating your workloads, this is a multitask team because you need to, again, OS system operations teams, network teams, sometimes storage, network, depends on the company. Of course, sometimes it's just one team that does everything, but other more big companies, there is one team for each area. So that's why this is something that you should know. Also, Hyper-V balance workload on hosts. Something I was supposed to show, but again, we don't have time. But when you migrate the VM, when you migrate the VM from, let's say you have only 20 gigabytes free on your Hyper-V host, just an example. You're trying to migrate a VM that has 18 gigs. So when you're trying to migrate, of course, there is no available memory to this. Good thing for about Veeam, it will reduce automatically your VM memory so that the VM can be migrated. So if there is only 20 gigs free and it needs 18, it will reduce your VM to, let's say, I don't know how, but it will do these calculations. It will reduce to 10. So the VM will be only 10 gigabytes so that it can migrate. You should see a warning saying the VM was changed from whatever was it to new, so that it can allocate to the new Hyper-V host. So this is something also very good when you migrate into your environments. Again, also concurrent limits. I'm talking about. I did talk about 100 VMs. This is too much. Yes, it's too much, but I've done almost 100. I did 50. I did already. So this is depends always your environment. So I every company, again, I'm repeating myself. Planning. That's why you test what's your networking storage, because storage is also very important, because if you do a lot of EIOs and read and writes and on storage, you will have a top. You need to monitor your storage to see if it's working properly. If also doesn't affect your production. Always use a network or create a network for the migration. Don't use. You should. This best practice. You should not use your production network to your migrations, because that will impact, of course, your infrastructure.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
everything we discuss here, just let me finish and then you can go, Julia. Sorry. Validation scripts. So what we discuss here can also be done by script. Everything can be done by script. On our design that we show, two Veeam employees, I forgot to give them some credit because of the design. It was them, and I just reuse it. They also create a script that does this everything automatically. So this can be done automatically by script. You don't need to do all this lab that I did today. You can just launch your script, your VMs, and etc. And then everything will be. I'm trying to do some changes on that script so that we can improve some of the, because one of the problems is to choose to which host each VM should go. If you have 20 hosts on Hyper-V, and then if you send everything to the same host, of course, then Hyper-V will start balancing. But if you know beforehand what is the host that is already consuming, and then you can choose another one. If you can do this by script, that is good. That's why I have this, but for a manual migration. I don't have this for Veeam. I will try to do this also for Veeam. Use that script, improve that. You try to see if I can do the same for here. So.
yeah, well, I think this is a great topic, and the audience really likes it. We should probably plan a part 2 and part
Yeah,
3.
seriously.
Also, part 3 with all the scripts that you are planning. I think that would be very valuable to everyone. Maybe we can, have another Veeam 100 show showing these scripts. And we really appreciate you, Luciano, coming on and showing us this. Everyone, I'm sure they all appreciated it. It was great.
Luciano,
Again,
where can
thank you for
people
having me.
find out more on this topic?
Well, I haven't my plan, but my plan is very big to
So
write
stay
a
tuned.
big. Yes, I have my plan to write a blog post regarding this. My blog is Pro Virtual Zone. I don't know if anyone knows, but I even is not been very updated in the last months. But my plan to start doing that, and then one of the topics is this, and then shortly, in a couple of weeks maybe, I will have some stuff here. Most of what we will discuss here, or maybe I will already have the script that I also use for a post, but on my post will be completely. This is just different. So I will try to follow up this and some couple of posts, so the blog posts to explain this, and maybe
You
two
can always find
other
a lot
hypervisors
more.
also. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
you can always find more information on the Veeam Community Hub for
yeah,
sure.
on Veeam community will be there. Everything will be there in the next holidays. Yes.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
also want to give a big shout out to the solutions architect team really quickly. Olivier Rossi, Rich Brambley, and Douglas Chung, and the entire solutions architect team for some of the resources that we used in this episode.
The
Those links
diagrams,
will
yeah.
be shared in the chat. Thank you all. Nearly
Thank
a 45-minute
you.
show. Julia, Luciano, production,
Again,
Felicia,
thank you.
and Jeffrey. This
Yes.
has been a great show. Rick in the chat for answering questions as well. This has been amazing. If you want to stay in tune with the community, keep updated with Luciano's blog, make sure to check out the Veeam Community Resource Hub. We will always keep topics like this active on there. Thank you all for joining us today. We will see you next month for our next show. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.